Solana can process over 65,000 transactions per second. That's faster than Visa, Ethereum, and faster than almost every other blockchain. But how does it work? What's going on with Solana that makes it so incredibly fast? I'm Brett at CryptoGX, and in this video, I'll walk you through exactly why Solana is so much faster than Ethereum, Avalanche, and other cryptocurrencies. I'll go over how it works, what makes its design different, and why it leads in speed and in efficiency. To really understand what makes Solana special, we need to look at what it's solving. Most blockchains today, including Ethereum and Avalanche, face a very common challenge. They get congested when too many people try to use it all at once. You've probably seen this if you've ever had to wait several minutes for a transaction to go through or paid higher gas fees just to get that transfer confirmed. That delay isn't just annoying, it's because how these networks are designed, really. Ethereum, for example, processes transactions one by one. Every 12 to 15 seconds, it adds a new block, and in each block has their limited space. If more people are trying to use that at the same time, the system gets backed up. Think of it like a toll booth on a busy day. Each car has to wait its turn, and during rush hour the line can stretch a long way back. This design keeps Ethereum very secure and decentralized. So the question is, if this is how most blockchains work, how does Solana move so quickly? The answer lies in how Solana is structured. It doesn't follow the same steps as older networks. From the start, it was built for speed. Solana uses proof of stake as its base. In this system, people who want to help run the network lock up some of their Solana tokens. These people are called validators. Currently, there are about 1,000 validators on the network, and the network picks the validators to confirm transactions and add new blocks. This is much more energy efficient than mining, and it helps the network run very smoothly. Now, let's talk about proof of history. Proof of stake alone doesn't explain Solana's speed. Ethereum also uses it now, and yet it still runs slower, so what did Solana do so much differently? This is where Solana brings in something new, something other blockchains didn't have. It's called proof of history, and even though the name sounds technical, the idea behind it is very simple. It gives the network a way to agree on time without waiting around. Normally, blockchains need all the computers in the network to agree on the order of the events. That might sound easy, but in a global system where messages are flying between thousands of machines, it takes time. Every computer has to double check the others. This slows everything down. It's like trying to run a group project where everyone has to approve each step before anyone can move forward. Imagine you're collecting letters from different people. If they all send them on different days using different mailing services, they'll arrive out of order. But if each person writes the date and time clearly on the letter before sending it, you can sort them as soon as they arrive. So you don't need to ask anyone when they sent it, you already know. That's what Solana does. Solana changes that by giving every validator a shared clock. This clock is built into the system itself. It uses cryptographic math to create a sequence of timestamps that no one can fake or skip. This basically just means that validators don't need to ask who was first. They already know the order before they even talk to each other. This is what proof of history does. It lets Solana process transactions continuously without waiting for each one to be checked in real time. And because the network doesn't waste time confirming the order again and again, it can handle far more transactions per second. This system also works well with Solana's validator rotation, so everyone stays on the same page without constant back and forth. It is one of the biggest reasons why Solana feels fast the moment you use it. But Solana doesn't stop at keeping time. It also changes how transactions are handled once they're in line. The system moves step by step. Even thousands of requests come in at once. Solana takes a different path. Instead of lining up every transaction in a single queue, Solana checks if some of them can be processed at the same time. This is called parallel execution, and it's handled by Solana's transaction engine called Sealevel. You don't need to remember the name, but you should understand what it does. Imagine you walk into a supermarket with only one cashier. Even if you just want to buy a bottle of water, you have to wait behind 10 people doing full cart checkouts. Now picture a store where there's 25 cashiers open at the same time, each handling a different customer. That's more like how Solana works. It checks which transactions don't overlap, and then it runs them all in parallel, aka next to each other. Having those 25 cashiers validating transactions all at once are essentially one of the main things that help Solana beat Visa in the number of transactions they process per second. Now, since proof of history already gives the network a verified timeline, validators don't waste time figuring out the order. They just check for conflicts. They move forward. The design unlocks serious speed at this point. Now let's talk about that speed. Solana has a block time of about 400 milliseconds compared to Ethereum's 12 seconds or Bitcoin's 10 minutes. Soon the finality time is expected to reach below 150 milliseconds for Solana after its upcoming Alpenglow consensus algorithm update. In ideal conditions, Solana claims it can process up to 710,000 transactions per second, which is over 30 times more than Visa. In practice, it has already crossed 50,000 transactions per second in testing environments, and on average, it handles 1,000 to 2,000 transactions per second in real-world usage. In late 2024, it processed over 1 billion transactions in 24 hours. And yes, that includes consensus votes, but it shows the system can stay stable under load. This is why Solana isn't just fast in theory, it's fast in the real world. It processes more blocks, runs more transactions in parallel, and confirms actions within 2 to 3 seconds. When you combine a shared clock with 25 blocks being validated at once in a system that can keep all of that in sync, you get something very few blockchains can match. This is a major reason why Solana leads in throughput, aka number of transactions per second. All of that speed sounds impressive, and it is, but it also comes with trade-offs. Solana's performance depends on powerful machines running the network. To be a validator, you need high-end hardware and a stable internet connection. This keeps the system fast, but it also means fewer people can afford to join as validators. This means that only a small group has the tools to keep those things running. It creates more pressure to make sure those few validators that are there never go offline. Solana has had major network outages in the past. There was a major one in late 2020, and you can see here on helios.dev, there's a blog post with a complete history of their outages that I recommend you go through. It's definitely a good read. Since then, it has introduced upgrades like QIC or QUIC. This is stake-weighted quality of service and improved validator software. That's essentially what they did. It's more stable now. Still, if you understand the trade-offs and you're clear on what Solana was built for, Solana beats almost all altcoins, in my opinion. Not only in speed, but in price action as an altcoin, really, especially like right now, too. You can be wary of the outages that they've had, but also keep an eye on the upgrades as well to give yourself kind of a better understanding of, okay, are these outages going to affect me? It's not like a hack, it's different. Are they going to get better about it? Outages? That's my guess as well, especially with this most recent update. Now, with all that boiled together, Solana isn't just a fast blockchain, it's proof that innovation in crypto is alive and well. If you've been wondering whether altcoins can still make waves in the market, dominated by giants, Solana, in my opinion, is the answer. It shows that with the right design, the right vision, a project can really stand out, deliver utility, and give the, early believers a serious edge. And a great point to make with that is that just over, I want to say, a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, Solana was at $20. Now it's trading at over $200. So that is a great return on investment and, a great reason to keep an eye on Solana and where it might be going in the future. If you're ready to get some Solana of your own, I put links in the description for Coinbase and Crypto.com where you'll get at least $50 in crypto just for signing up with those links. And if you want to get into some meme coins, I also left a link to MoonShot in the description where you get some free meme coins for signing up. If you learned something new or just enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and hit subscribe if you want to stay tuned for all things crypto. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.